Hi everyone, welcome to Dustin the Blind Minnesotan. Today we're going to talk about Southeast Minneapolis. Southeast Minneapolis is a very complex place, and today I want to talk to you about it because it's really cool, it's very interesting. On my YouTube channel, Dustin Lindbergh, the Blind Minnesotan, I have plenty of YouTube shorts and plenty of YouTube videos and plenty of podcasts episodes on my Dustin Lindbergh, the Blind Minnesotan YouTube channel explaining this area because University of Minnesota's on this area. My friend Trina lives in this area, so I go to this area for the textile center. The University Avenue goes from Southern Blaine all the way to downtown St. Paul. So, and if you live on the university part between Northeast Minneapolis and downtown St. Paul, Universities has sidewalk all the way. So then you can bike and walk from Northeast Minneapolis all the way to downtown St. Paul. It's a long bike ride and it's a long walk, but it's possible to do it. And if you're disabled and you live in like Fridley and Columbia Heights and Southern Blaine along University where there's no sidewalk, at least if you take Metro Mobility, it's going to be a short ride because, University, everything's so close and everything's so quick that you can get anywhere where you need to go with Metro Mobility awfully quick if Metro Mobility is responsible and is running on time and doesn't forget you. Because a lot of times when I take Metro Mobility, sometimes they forget me. So, and that's not the best feeling when the person that's supposed to pick you up forgets about you. So, Southeast Minneapolis technically goes from 35W to Highway 280. And then once you go past 280 down University, when you're heading south, you're technically on the west side of St. Paul. So let's talk about why disabled people should move to Southeast Minneapolis, in South Minneapolis. So Southeast Minneapolis and Northeast Minneapolis are separated from the main part of Minneapolis from the Mississippi River. In my opinion, if I became governor, I would make Northeast Minneapolis and Southeast Minneapolis a part of St. Paul. That's what I would technically do because technically when you live in Northeast Minneapolis and Southeast Minneapolis, technically St. Paul and Minneapolis are similar distances. And also, if I was the governor, I would put Northeast Minneapolis and Southeast Minneapolis as new neighborhoods a part of St. Paul because they're on the St. Paul side of the river, technically. And the only reason why they're called Minneapolis is because we say they're Minneapolis. While Southeast and Northeast Minneapolis actually feel more like St. Paul because, they're touching and smashing St. Paul. So, let's talk about it. There's plenty of Southeast Minneapolis has the University of Minnesota. And when you go close, so the University of Minnesota part is surrounded by Stadium Village Station / the Huntington Stadium. And around the Huntington Stadium, the U/Stadium Village Station, the train station there, the Green Line station, there is hundreds of restaurants for University of Minnesota students to eat at. And St. Paul's neighborhoods are built similarly. There's a stadium in the middle, and it's surrounded in a bus stop or a major train station, and it's surrounded by restaurants. So let me read. And there's nice condos down there. One of my favorite condominiums down in Southeast Minneapolis is in the Prospect Park neighborhood, and it's called the M Flats building, and it's next to Prospect Park train station. And it has like a fitness center. It has a nice garden. It's across the street from Fresh Time Market. There's a lot of nice things around the M-Flat condominiums. And also, they're 2 blocks away from the U of M University of Minnesota campus, where there's endless restaurants and, and all that stuff. And there is the Burglars bagels. They're like pretty cool. I like them. And then there's an Emma Health Fairview Clinic and Surgical Center. That's where a lot of disabled people can go get health care in Southeast Minneapolis for cheap, because it's owned by the University of Minnesota. And the M Health Fairview Clinic and Surgical Center has a lot of for me as a visually impaired man, they have a low vision specialist for me. The M Health Fairview Clinic and Surgical Center. And then, there is, a nice parking ramp in Southeast Minneapolis called the Oak Street Parking Ramp. So if you want to hang out in Southeast Minneapolis with the U of M students, at the high-end restaurants, if you're a disabled person that can drive, there is a parking ramp for you there. And that parking ramp is well maintained, because I go past that parking ramp a lot when I'm going to my doctor at the Emma Fairview Clinic. That's like 2 blocks away from it. And then they have like a lot of my favorite restaurants in Southeast Minneapolis, like Burger King, My Burger, Raising Cane's, and they're all walking distance from low-income apartments down there. And right here's there's high-end apartments, like the Wahoo Apartments. And then, there's spice stores, like Legendary Spice, they're high-end. And then, you have all the U of M campus halls. You can walk around, and you'll never be bored, because, those campus halls have, like, beautiful gardens between the buildings and stuff. And it's a very nice campus. There's a Target, there's a Walmart not Walmart, but there's a Target and a Walgreens. Sorry, when I always think of Walmart, but there's a Walgreens on the campus. And then there's multiple parking lots, like lot C59, lot C55, where people that visit Southeast Minneapolis can also park, because Minneapolis knows it's a popular area because the U of M is there, and there's a lot of apartments there, and there's a lot of low-income disabled people living there. And and it's a very hot spot, so if you're disabled and your family comes to visit you, there's going to be plenty of parking. Your parents might be parking around U of M students, but at least there's an area for them to park. And then there's different neighborhoods, and then there is like the Burrito Loop. I haven't been there yet, but I have it bookmarked on my Google Maps, because it's a good bar and grill that serves Mexican food. And there's so many things. And in Southeast Minneapolis, the most famous neighborhood you're going to hear about is called Dinkytown. And Dinkytown is where the most low-income housing is located in Southeast Minneapolis. And it's where most dormitories for the U of M students are. So what's funny is when you go to Dinkytown, you'll see a low-income apartment for disabled people next to a dorm for students next to a frat house. So like, to me, if I was a younger disabled person, I would love that, because when I'm leaving my low income building, I can go party with the frat kids if I'm friends with them, or I can go hang out with all the young college kids that are my age that are living in the dorms next door. So Southeast Minneapolis is really good on that end too. And Dinkytown is where the Target's located, the Walgreens is located. There is all these like fast food restaurants. There is a McDonald's. And then, there is, all these like little bars. There's the passport office, good things for people living in the area to take advantage of. There is all these Thai restaurants. There's an armory place where people can go listen to music. There's Williams Arena where you can watch U of M students play basketball. So if you're disabled and you live in the area in Southeast Minneapolis, you can walk to Williams Stadium and watch them play basketball for like your entertainment. And then of course you have the 3M Arena too, and that is used for multiple things. It's because it's U of M. They use it for a lot. And then there's Huntington Bank Stadium, where there's a lot of U of M football games. So if you are disabled and you live in Southeast Minneapolis, you can go to a lot of U of M football games and have them be a block from your low-income housing. And then there is a Holiday gas station on University. So then you can get your gas. And then if you go to Prospect Park, that's also another big neighborhood in Southeast Minneapolis for the U of M students to live in, and for disabled people and seniors if they want to and stuff. There is a place called the let me look it up here because I forget, the Textile Center, where U of M students and disabled people can go learn how to make art, learn how to fix things, and then once a year the artists there put their art in the Textile Center gallery, and then them and the Textile Center get a cut from each item sold, and that's how the Textile Center stays in business. And then also there in that neighborhood there's a lot of parks. There is the Tower Hill Park, where people can go and walk around, see this old water tower that looks like an old fortress. So then you can go there, walk around, see what's up, see what's going on. And then there is like Global Tires, and other like businesses for people in Southeast Minneapolis to shop at. And there's the Green Line train, so if you're disabled and stuff and you live there, you can take the Green Line train to get around. So it's really, really perfect if like you're disabled and you live in that neighborhood. And then also, there's other parking lots, and there's parking underneath modern apartments, but to get the modern apartment parking, you have to be renting an apartment unit in the building, because apartment buildings are not letting anyone just use their limited surface parking, because in Southeast Minneapolis parking is rare. If you can afford parking or have land for parking, you're doing really good. And then now you're magically in the west side of St. Paul when you're going down University. And then also in this area, there's a very nice brewery called Shirley's Brewing Co. And Shirley Brewing Co. is open afternoon every day but Monday. So if you want to go party at Shirley's, you need to just avoid going there on Mondays and show up afternoon. So then no one gets in trouble. So and then they have good music there. So if you're a U of M student and you want to listen, or you're disabled, you can go there, listen to music and stuff. And then they have let me see. And then they have the textile center that teaches people how to make art and stuff. And there's a Papa John's Pizza and all this stuff over there. It's really, really interesting. Once you live over there, and it feels weird when you're an older person, seeing all the young people around, and listening to their hopes, their dreams. And Southeast Minneapolis also has an Anytime Fitness. So if you're a University of Minnesota student or you're disabled and you don't have any place to work out, in the Minnesota winters you can walk to Anytime Fitness, and at least you can work out at Anytime Fitness. So it's kind of cool, it's kind of interesting. And then let me think. And also, if you're a U of M student, or disabled, you can walk to the river, and then you can walk around along it, see all the beautiful views and all that stuff. Also, what I'm going to say is it's just interesting. Also, all the churches that are in Southeast Minneapolis. There is, there is a Jewish church. There is /temple. There is the Christian temple /church. And then there's the Muslim mosque and the teacher. So there's a lot of things that people can do in Southeast Minneapolis. And me and my friend Paul, when we go down there, we just walk around in circles with no plan until we get hungry. And then whatever we're hungry for, they normally open the doors, so then we can try it. Well, that's what I'm going to say about Southeast Minneapolis. And Southeast Minneapolis has the 6 bus. They'll take you to Edina. It has a 25 bus. They'll take you to St. Anthony and Blaine. They have the 30 bus. They'll take you from northeast to north. And it's a very nice area, and you would really like it. So this is what I discovered about Southeast Minneapolis. Southeast Minneapolis is going to be an interesting place, and always be an interesting place until the store closes down. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.